No, are we in?
Good evening. We're in. I think we're in.
Oh, hold on.
Are we in?
Well, it's just I haven't.
You've got confused now, haven't you?
Got confused over something else. Are we in? Looks like
Yay, we're in. That's good news. Good evening. Welcome. Lovely to see those of you. I think we're small on numbers this evening, but perfectly formed, I hope. So the team numbers that we think we've got are you drinking my wine? The cavalry have been called. So this is an existing team with a bit of help. The one and only, which is the lovely Isabel. Sorry, I should say who everyone is. So I think that Are You Drinking My Wine is David, Jane, Liz and Mike. Don't know if Claire is with them tonight. Haven't been told. But that's that team. We've got the cavalry have been called is Emily and Matt, who've been with us for a while. But tonight they've got reinforcements of John and Kay, which is Matt's parents, I believe. The one and only, which is Isabel. Lovely to have you, Isabel. You missed the last one and you were missed. We've got Celsi Solo, which is Cheryl. Thank you for your steadfastness. That's great. That just confirms that David, Jane, Liz and Mike are just the four of them tonight. We've got the Broomhall duo, which is Sue and Ray. And last but not least, we have the gingerbreads, which are the lovely McWilliamses.
So it's the normal format. There are going to be 5 rounds, normally of 10 questions. A challenge round when we have a break after 3 rounds, which is slightly different this time. And we'll tell you about that in the break. But without further ado, I think we'll move on to round 1.
And we haven't got, our babes aren't with us tonight. They've let us down with a better offer. So that's how it goes, I guess. So these things happen.
So I don't know if you are aware, but it's British Science Week this last week. So a focus in schools and other places on science. So we've started with a round of science questions.
Just waiting to see if it's going to come up over there. Is it going to come up?
I hope so.
Otherwise, it's all going badly wrong. Quiz 10 is the number we're on, which is quite a large number, isn't it?
It hasn't come up yet, dear.
I know, it's exciting though, isn't it?
And the delay isn't that long.
It is, because I'm... No, you have to press pause.
Well, press pause.
No, it hasn't come up. Right. Okay. Let's try that again then.
Live.
Now let's see if it's come up. Yay! Now it's coming up with all sorts of strangeness going on.
Is it full screen there?
Oh, we got that. Welcome to the Methodist. But it's all very weird.
Anyway, so if you haven't been with us before, you mark it yourselves. There's no prizes as such other than personal pride. We'll do the questions at the end of each round, and you'll self-mark and then throw your round scores into us at the end of each round. So question 1, who shouted Eureka in his bar?
Well, that was interesting.
Actually, I'm not sure it's when he got out of his bath or whilst he was still in it that he shouted Eureka. It had something to do with a bath or a bath.
You're showing your
depending where you come from.
Okay.
Question 2. Which was the first man-made metal?
Might have to be quite old to know this, to remember.
Yeah.
I didn't
I don't
know.
think any of the participants were there when this happened.
Oh, okay.
Not even, I'm not going to say.
Not even
anybody.
That's a strange one.
And it makes sense in a way once you know what the answer is. Question 3. Which element is represented in the periodic table by a big M and a small n? Question 4. Which is the only continent without ants?
Six. Makes sense.
6 teams. Yeah. That's good.
Right, so we have email address for everybody, don't we?
You're not going to display it as well?
Yes, but I thought we could email it to them.
Okay. Question 5. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only person to receive a prize in 2 different scientific fields? The same person. Question 6. CD is the SI unit for luminous intensity. What does the CD stand for?
If you understand that question, you're a better woman than me.
And it's not compact disc.
Which I didn't understand the question at all.
Makes sense again when you know what the answer is, but I suppose that's true of many things. If you know what the answer is, it all makes sense. Question 7. Do you weigh less, the same, or more if you're at the equator? Presumably than when you're not at the equator. So do you weigh less, the same, or more at the equator? Question 8. Who invented the mercury thermometer? So who invented the mercury thermometer? The surname will get you the point because I'm going to be generous. Number 9, what name is given to a test to discover if a solution is acidic or basic? Or alkaline, some people would say, whether it's acidic or alkaline. So what's the name of that test? And finally, in this round, although we will recap some if you want us to, question 10, people with which blood group are referred to as universal donors? So people with which blood group are referred to as universal donors? So if you want to throw a chat in to say...
If you'd want any repeats.
If you want anything repeated, we can go back through them.
I'm just going to put the kettle on.
Oh, we're going to have a kettle on. It's not going to be a gin then. It's going to be a kettle.
Well, we don't come after tea after the rugby.
No, we haven't. Good rugby game, wasn't it?
Very good.
For those who watched. Is Fanny playing tonight?
No.
No?
I did ask Liz if she had Fanny with her, and she told me I was being very rude.
That's not for me to say. Question 2 from Cheryl. Which was the first man-made metal?
I can only apologise for the noisy kettle.
Yeah, it's not heavy metal. It's not rock or anything like that. The first man-made metal.
Cheryl should know that with her degree.
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? My sister, that we're talking about, Cheryl, studied metallurgy at Sheffield University to degree level. So if she gets this wrong, I'm going to be asking for your money back. No other requests, so we'll just slowly move through them. Not as obscure as the degree I studied, but there you go. I'm happily retired now, so it all doesn't matter. So we'll move on to answers. So answer to question 1 was Archimedes, who was in his bath or not in his bath, and who shouted Eureka.
Go on then.
Question 2, the answer is bronze. Was the first man-made metal was bronze. So the Bronze Age comes before the Iron Age, I hope. In which case, if it doesn't, I've got it all wrong. Hopefully that's true. Question 3, which element is represented by Mn is manganese.
Not magnesium, which is what I guessed.
Manganese.
But I know nothing.
Which is, sounds like...
Companies.
Sounds like something else.
Which is the only continent without ants.
Strangely enough, starts with the word ant and is Antarctica. The first woman was obviously Marie Curie. And interestingly, when researching this question, her daughter also won the Nobel Prize. So very, very clever family.
In the genes.
It must be in the some things. CD stands for candela. I suppose if you wrote candle, that would be a point for candle or candela.
No.
Well, they understood well, you didn't even understand the question. So.
The candle's plainly not the right answer.
Candela, I would be happy. Well, you're marking it yourself, so if you want to mark yourself a point for candle, I'm more than...
they get 2 for candela. Is somebody making the round
I'm
out
more
of
than
11?
No, I'm not. More than happy with that.
Yeah.
Candle, candela, either of those. The thing that Jane doesn't have many on her birthday cakes. Do you weigh you weigh less at the equator? Something to do with the centripetal forces, as it's the whatever. I don't know. That's always it's less. You weigh less at the equator.
I'm gonna have to turn my ringtone off.
And the clock.
I know the clock will carry on.
The clock will carry on. Daniel obviously invented the Fahrenheit invented the thermometer.
Apparently Marie Curie brought 2 children up alone after her husband died in an accident in 1906. Is that worth a bonus point?
No, but good knowledge. I like that. Good knowledge. And why don't we call it degrees Daniel instead of degrees Fahrenheit?
Be easier to spell.
It's obviously the litmus test is the acidic basic alkali test. Little papers that used to do
Remember,
at school.
if go red or blue, depending on whether it's acid or alkaline.
Dip your thing in. And people with the blood group universal donors or group O. So
well done. You've all done very well.
You've all done.
What are you doing?
Don't know. It's gone off.
It's just there. It's fine. I've just stopped sharing. I love you.
Cheers.
So, results, please.
Yes, results, please. We'll try and make sense of it all.
Do you know, this is our quiz number 10. So you'd have thought we might have got the hang of this a bit by now, but we don't appear to have done. It's all boding well for tomorrow morning's church, isn't it? We got this covered.
WhatsApp's more likely to come in.
Right. Any results, please? Celsius Solar got 9. Well done.
Cheryl, very good.
I hope you got the metal one right.
I shall. We'll chat in the week. We'll work out what you.
Broomhall Oldies 9.
Oh, there are some very clever scientific-y people about.
Lisa, gingerbread's 9.
Oh, it's going to be a tight quiz.
Did better than me. I wouldn't have got anywhere near that on this one.
Yeah, I thought some of them were quite tough. Obviously not.
So come on, the cavalry have been called. Did your extra assistance prove to be of any use at all?
No, I'm probably not.
Isabel, well done. 6. That's pretty good on your own. So we're waiting for Are You Drinking My Wine? And the cavalry have been called. 7 for the cavalry. Well done. Just waiting for Are You Drinking My Wine?
I've probably drunk it all already.
Well, should we press on appending them?
So
Obviously trying to validate their scores and sort themselves out, aren't they?
Yeah.
So our next round, thank you, Liz, was 8.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good scores. I'm pleased to say, I think I can say this for the first time ever, that the Broomhall duo are joint first. It's pretty good. I'm very impressed.
I'm not arguing.
So for our next round, we're going to be reflecting something else that was this week. And this week we had International Women's Day. So without further ado, there's some questions about women. So start off. Christabel, Adela and Sylvia are the daughters of which suffragette activist? Squeaky chair.
Squeaky chair.
That's a good one. I'll know that one. Number 2. Which ruler deposed her husband, expanded her territory into Central Europe, and was said to have played an important role in improving the welfare of serfs?
That well-known country with serfs.
Yeah.
That's not Smurfs. It's not Denmark.
Could be. David, you haven't got time to be putting on rugby banter. You're supposed to be concentrating on which ruler deposed her husband, etc., etc.
I'm not quite sure I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it in the last minute when we'd
won, yeah.
It was a good game of rugby.
Good game. Good game.
Good game.
Number 3. Barbara Slater was the BBC Director of Sport and orchestrated the entire coverage of which global sporting event? Ooh. Multitasking. As long as you're contributing, David.
Have you got all the emails for the...
Yes. I've got an email address for each team.
Oh, that's all right.
So you don't have to worry.
I wasn't worrying. I did get it.
Susanna Dinenage made history in 2018 by becoming the first female CEO of which sporting institution?
Have you got any easy questions in this round?
I think that one's quite easy.
Okay, just asking.
But it depends what you know, doesn't it? I thought yours
Just
were
depends.
impossible on the science one and people got 9. So It just depends.
We've got a picture round next. You'll be pleased to know.
Well, it depends if you like picture rounds.
Get your crayons out.
Catherine Switzer was the first woman to run which marathon in 1967? Because women weren't allowed.
Before that, no.
Yeah. Well,
Well, they weren't allowed.
then,
They weren't allowed that year either.
Absolutely. Weren't allowed. Banned.
You should borrow somebody's trousers.
I don't know quite how she did it, but she did it.
Just did it.
But where did she do it?
Just joined in.
That's the question. She probably joined as Kay Switzer and they didn't know it was a woman and got a number. Anyway, which inspiring young woman said, "When the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful"?
Keeping everything running. It's all good.
So much going on.
So many screens. I'm sat here looking at 6 screens with the phones.
It's no wonder we can't keep up.
Mine's died.
Which novel named after a chess move became one of Netflix's most watched shows in 2020? This was a question here because of the very central role played by a female in a men's world.
A trick question.
No. You have to explain that later. No idea what you're talking about. Which novel named after a chess move became one of Netflix's most watched shows in 2020? Number 8. Of the 650 seats in the House of Commons, how many were occupied by women on the 1st of January 2020? Trick question because of what?
I didn't think there'd be anybody in the House of Commons on the 1st of January.
How many female...
Sitting down or otherwise.
Yeah. How many female MPs were there on the 1st of January 2020? So since the last election. We might have to give a margin of error here, mightn't we?
Yes.
Okay, we'll consider that before we get to the answers.
We could ask people to send in their answers to that question, but it's going to get quite complicated.
I don't want that to do that. Too complicated. Number 9. Mary Stopes founded the first UK clinic for what? Oh, I'm cold. Get a blanket.
It's not gold in here.
Permanently gold. And number 10, Victoria Coren Mitchell has hosted which game show since 2008? One of Roger's favourite quiz shows, bizarrely. Quite
bizarrely.
You never get the answers right.
I do.
Oh, actually, you did get one right this week. Yeah, you did very well. Right, if anybody would like any of those repeated, would they speak now, either on the WhatsApp group or on the YouTube Placey Watsy? If you want any of those repeated, we'll happily go back, do a quick whiz back. See, they're so easy. They got them the first time round. Okay, I'm moving forward. Christabel, Adela and Sylvia were the daughters of Emmeline Pankhurst. Which I'm sure you all got right. Can you tell Max he should have taken my bet? Max, you should have taken her bet, but you're going to have to tell us what the bet was. What was the bet, Lisa? Which ruler deposed her husband? It was Catherine the Great in Russia. And if any of you have been watching
The Great,
which
finished last week, I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was really odd and didn't watch it.
No, well,
But there you go. Catherine the Great. Barbara Slater orchestrated the entire coverage of the London 2012 Olympics. Susanna Dinenage made history by becoming the first female CEO of the English Premier League. I've no idea whether she's still the CEO. Do you know?
No idea.
I don't do football really, but there you go. Catherine Switzer, the first woman to run a marathon, and it was the Boston Marathon. The inspiring young woman who said, "When the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful," was Malala Yousafzai. I don't know how you
I think Malala
will do.
She's known as Malala.
Yeah. There's no extra points for being able either to spell or say her surname. The novel named after the chess move was The Queen's Gambit. Worthwhile watch, we thought.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's a good watch. So what's the margin of error going to be for the next one? So number 8, the number of seats in House of Commons occupied by women was 220.
So anything between...
How much of a margin of error are you prepared
for? 2 points for getting it exact.
And 1 if you get anywhere between 200 and 240? Or 210, 230?
201, 239. I don't know. Whatever you like, do. Be generous if you like.
You can have 1 point if you get between, if your guess was between 200 and 240, and 2 points if you get to 220 or within 5 points of that, 5 seats of that.
Ooh, radical.
Because I'm generous like that.
Radical.
So between 215 and 225, you get 2 points.
What if you get 220 exactly? 3 points?
Oh, there, 220. Yeah, any of those.
Any of those.
Murray Stopes founded the first UK clinic for female contraceptive.
Something.
Female contraceptive clinic.
Okay.
And Victoria Cohen Mitchell has hosted Only Connect.
So scores again, when you've counted them up, that's obviously out of more than 10.
Potentially out of 13.
Celsius Solo 4. So a much tougher round. Diana put that round together.
See, I thought that was much easier.
Well, that's because it's what you
But
think
it shows
about,
what you know, doesn't it? What you don't know.
I didn't know hardly any of the women referred to. But I could have guessed some of that, I suppose.
You'd have got lots of that. You got Victoria Coren Mitchell.
Yeah, I got that. 7 for the cavalry.
9 for the Are You Drinking My Wine? Sorry, I keep turning that down and I'm not doing a very good job of it.
6 for the One and Only.
Well done, Isabel.
The cavalry was 7, I told you that.
Very consistent. Broomhall duo 6.
Very good.
So waiting for the gingerbreads. Oh, can you tell, our internet has crashed. I offered a bet that one of you would be wearing an England shirt. He refused it.
Yeah, I mean, if they'd still been in a chance of winning the championship, I might have.
Did your internet crash through most of that round, gingerbreads, or do you have a score to submit? Don't know. Don't know, she says. Well, I'll wait for that score to come and we'll move on to our next round. And now, as you know, we've marketed this week as a
Mother's Day
quiz. to that end, this round, it's all about famous mums. So there are 20 points available in this round. One for the celebrity child and one for naming the famous mum. So if I move on, then you'll know what we mean. So this is a famous person who has a famous mum. We want to know who is this and who is their famous mum. This picture, I think, is quite tricky because we've, you know who this is and you're looking at it.
Well, I wouldn't have known from looking at it, only because I've researched.
Yeah, but very famous mum.
Yes.
And she's quite famous in her own right, but quite newly famous.
Okay, if you've deliberated on that one, we can always come back to it. Number 2, who is this and who is the famous mother?
Number 3.
Way ahead of time.
Way ahead of time we are. Who's this? And who's her famous mum?
Oh, you missed the answers. Oh, dear. So we might have to dive back for the answers for...
I can pass them to.
Can you?
Yeah,
just the answers of that bit.
Yeah.
Cool, she's clever, isn't she? I'll do this then if you want to play with that. So that's number 3. Number 4. Oh, you actually, I thought you were going to send them the...
No, I'm going to give the answers.
Okay. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. And finally, number 10. So if you'd like any repeating, we can dash back through them.
Oh,
I think there were 8 women there and 2 men, but they all have mothers.
indeed they did. Lisa, I've sent you all the answers. Oh, she's typing back. Not the answers for everybody else, not the answers for the whole thing.
Lisa's going to win. She's got all the answers.
Giving her all the answers to all the questions. Right, does anybody want any of those repeated?
3 for Cheryl. Train.
Yes.
There's a train.
Don't often hear the train, but you do occasionally, don't you?
Not never anyone.
That's true. Any other repeats wanted? Right, that being the case, we will swiftly move on to the answers. So that was Lola and Annie Lennox. So Lola Lennox has been played an awful lot on the radio at the moment. She's got a single, actually, a lovely voice. Actually sounds a bit like a mum, doesn't she? But a mum, very recognisable. The second one is Phoebe Dynevor. Was in Bridgerton, which was a series that we watched, and I'm sure a lot of you will have watched. And her mum is Sally, who plays Sally in Coronation Street, has done for years and years and years and years. Number 3 was Chelsea Clinton and her mum Hillary Clinton. There's a famous mum for you.
Yeah.
Number 4, possibly the easiest one in the pack. Well, it depends what you know, doesn't it? But this is Jamie and Judy Murray. Judy Murray, very famous mum. Number 5, that was Karen Keating, sadly deceased, much too young, and her mum, Gloria Hunniford. Number 6 was Sophie Ellis-Bextor and her mum, Janet Ellis.
Of
Blue Peter.
Blue Peter fame.
Yeah. Number 7, this was Roger's particular one that he wanted in there.
So that was Edward VII and Queen Victoria.
And we think this picture is of Queen Victoria, Edward VII, whoever the Edward VII's son was, and Edward VII's grandson.
So it's
4 generations.
Finding the picture, it was entitled Queen Victoria's first
great-grandchild.
Great-grandchild, yes. So it's child, grandchild, great-grandchild.
You're pointing at it. Does absolutely no good.
Yes.
Number 8, this is Eilish McColgan and her mum, Liz McColgan.
Both Scottish athletes.
Both Scottish athletes. Gloria Hunniford went to Lisa McWilliams's school. Apparently not at the same time.
Before me, OBS.
OBS, yeah. Small world. But did your family know their family?
I should have said.
Number 9 was Liza Minnelli and her mum Judy Garland. It really difficult to get a picture of, because I think we have a picture of Liza Minnelli, which is much like the picture I remember of Liza Minnelli is kind of the one we've got there. And pictures of Judy Garland are from way before when I would sort of think about my image of Judy Garland when she was much younger. So it was quite difficult to get a picture of them both, looking how I remembered them. But anyway. And number 10, Dakota Johnson and Melanie Griffiths.
Both actors.
Oh, if you're on it, Jack would be so proud. Well, Lisa, Gloria Hunniford apparently did a Tupperware party at Lisa's house.
Wow.
I hope you bought lots.
Have you still got the Tupperware? Lasts forever.
I've got to put it over there. 11. All right, scores. This is out of 20, so expecting lots of high scores, obviously.
And Cheryl's straight in with 10.
Oh, so I put that in the right place.
No. Salsi Solo 10.
$15 for the cavalry.
Ah.
This is obviously your specialist subject. 9 for Isabel.
Oh, the cavalry could be.
The gingerbread and the Broomhall duo we're waiting for. Yeah, I got your score, Liz. Put it in, put it in. So waiting for the Broomhall duo and gingerbreads for your scores, please. So for our next round, we're obviously going to go in for a break now. But during the break, we've got a new thing to share with you today. We thought we'd do some dingbats. So I will put them on the screen, but because they are not the biggest things in the world to see, it's my intention to also email it to teams.
So any minute now, I'll do that.
So I'm going to email it to the person on your team that I think is the team captain, which is Liz, Emily, Isabel, Cheryl, Sue, and Lisa. This will be on your email account. Oh, is it coming up there? Have I not shared it properly? And you can share it if you've got teammates all over the place that need to have it shared with.
I can't see it on the
It's
screen.
not coming up yet. 8 was our score. Right, let's see if that comes up now. Oh, that's better. I think that is coming up. Yes, yes, yes. That's good when it's coming up. So if you don't get it on your email, let me know and I will try and send it again. But we'll give you till half past.
In fact, we won't score this until the very end of the quiz. So you've got the break time and whilst we do the final 2 rounds to think on these. And they're just traditional dingbats, which is say what you see, the phrases and things like that.
I've got the answers up.
Oh, you put the answers up. Or if you'd been really switched on.
Oh, that's interesting.
I wonder if you've sent the answers. Stop looking at the screen.
I've emailed you, and have I emailed you the ones with the answers on as well? In which case, it's not going to work.
Not a very good round. You've not. Liz says you've not.
Well, excellent. So do it from the ones on your email then, please. So team leaders, if you've got teams all around you, you'll have to send them around to everybody. Well, that was interesting. It was because when I did this, I put a
different filter on it.
Yeah.
Oh, you put it behind the white. How can you show that now?
Yeah, I can show that now. Oh, that was good. So I'm expecting you all to have got some of these right then.
So how many of you? Anyway, whatever. It's all good fun. So we'll come back for quizzing at past. So go and get a beer or a gin or a large drink or something. What have you got there?
Well, so Sue, you've got a new you've got a new email address. That's not helpful.
Can I get anything there? Nibble?
I don't particularly actually. I'm more tea, obviously.
No tea.
A wash with tea. That's interesting. Sue, have you received my email? Because I've just had an out of office that says that your email's changed. Da-dum, da-dum.
Oh, no, they're not getting that.
No.
They're still not getting that.
Well, I don't understand then. No, they're getting it, I think. Yeah. Oh, it's just weird. Weirdly weird. You can make something noisy now.
No, it doesn't matter. It's only a quiz. They can turn me down and mute me.
I don't understand that. You're wandering around. Well, that was impressive that the answers were on the sheet, wasn't it? Excellent. Good news, Sue. Sorry, I'll stop faffing around now. Oh. So we're not going to do the results of this till the end.
No.
Is that your plan, right at the end?
Because
Because there are
answers, so you got to look at them.
18 answers. Ooh. Making quite a lot of noise. We're not supposed to be engaging in witty banter at this point. Is Mike there tonight, Liz? Being witty and amusing? Oh, good. Well, Mike, you could be sending us some jokes to share.
Or just sharing them on.
Or sharing them yourself. You could share them on the old chat.
Isabel says, what is a dingbat?
Ah, Isabel, have you got them? They're on your email if you can't see them. But they're phrases hidden, well-known phrases hidden in in these cases, word pictures.
Also called, what else are they called?
Don't know.
There's another name for them, but I can't think what it is. Oh, catchphrase.
Catchphrase. If
Was
you ever
the
watch the Catchphrase television
programme.
program, but they tend to be cartoony,
They're
sort of
more
little films,
cartoony,
don't
yeah.
they? As opposed to these are. What
Not
can you
moving.
see? Yeah. It is a real case of say what you see. Weary-headed.
So yes, we've got 2 rounds and then go through all this round.
So
we better crack on at half past, haven't we?
well, should we go 1/2 on those clocks? That seem to be much faster than that clock.
Well, one of them's
I've got
2 whole minutes ahead.
3 clocks in that view, and they are all saying different times. Or should we go when the clock strikes 1/2?
Oh, that's whichever.
Whichever. How many of them can you get now? Can you remember? I don't think that's going to be appropriate. I've just seen what you're searching. I don't think that's appropriate.
I was just looking at mother-in-law jokes.
But being told off.
But then being told off.
Can't think why.
Oh.
But they're all Les Dawson jokes, aren't they?
Well, it was a genre, wasn't it?
A genre.
That could have been a question. He was reputed as having routines based on mother-in-law jokes. I think everybody would have got that. Maybe not the kids, actually.
I don't think our kids would know who Les Dawson was, would they?
Apparently, he and his mother-in-law were happy for 20 years, and then they met.
Oh, so witty and amusing. You're just going to sit there giggling at them now, aren't you?
There's one I can't even understand. Perhaps I can't see all of it.
Oh, we've given an answer away, apparently.
Have we? What, in just talking? Why? Is Les Dawson in there, or his mother-in-law in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. Behind every successful man stands a devoted wife and a surprised mother-in-law, apparently.
Oh, well.
It's all right. My phone's going to turn off in a minute.
You've got no charge?
No, it's from here.
Well planned.
I think it's coming on here mostly.
Yeah, is Cheryl giving her answers on that or on this?
They're all here.
Okay. Grand. Right, according to the clock that strikes, which is the clock we're going to go for so that we can fit in the 2 rounds and do the answers of this, you've got about another 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. I realise.
Do you realise?
I realise it's not a touch screen. I want to keep pushing it, but it's not a touch screen. Well, neither of them are touch screens.
No. Why would you want it to be?
Boom, and it could all explode.
All sorts of things could happen then, couldn't it? Right.
Mhm.
So,
Is that next?
yep. And then
Okay.
we finish with that run.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I'm happy.
Are you happy?
Mm.
Grand. Okay. The clock is about to strike past. We know it's fast. You know how it is. That's how these things work. So we're going to move on to the next round, which is one of the rounds that we normally do, a current affairs round. So Roger has been scanning the papers, scanning the news to find the most obscure tales that he can find to bewitch you with. And this is what he's come up with.
I'm going to wait for it to strike.
No, wait for it to strike. Well, they've still got the questions, so they can carry on.
Yeah,
The dingbats, they can still carry on
do your
doing
ding-batting. So Claire didn't join us tonight.
No,
Hmm.
Barbara's not with us. Lots of people not with us. There are a few people who've not been with us
Right.
this
Well, it's
evening.
not
No, well, I
coming
haven't done it yet. I haven't pressed the button.
up. All right.
I'm waiting to press the button until I get permission to do it, you see.
We can put that screen up.
Is that not a dangerous one?
What, current affairs?
Yeah.
I think we'll understand current affairs.
Okay. Maybe the clock's just not going to strike.
It should.
Should do. There it goes. So it's quite slow on a Saturday night, isn't it? 'Cause it's had a whole week. Okay.
Right, so question 1. An 8-year-old Joseph Dean from California has just signed a $33,000 contract to play which game? That's about £23,000.
It's a lot of money
A lot of money
to play a game.
to play a game. I'm sure his parents are delighted.
Do you think his parents understand?
Well, so question 2, which Bridgerton star will read a bedtime story on CBeebies tomorrow? Number 3, which famous theme park has been granted permission to build a new roller coaster on Greenbelt land?
This was actually a theme park that we liked.
Well,
As theme parks went. Terribly keen on any of them, but really.
dislike any particular. Going international, question 4. So President Biden only has plans to leave the United States 3 times this year. Which 3 countries is he planning to visit this year? So there are 3 points for 3 different countries that he's planning to visit. Which European island? Question 5. Which European island has suffered over 12 volcanic eruptions so far this year? So not the name of the volcano, but the name of the island.
Well, volcano is plainly called Crash Bang Wallop, isn't it?
What a picture. And in a similar vein, question 6 is, which country has had a worrying 17,000 earthquakes in the last 2 weeks?
It's an awful lot.
And then
Yes, on the same thing.
On a different sort of thing, question 7. So why did a judge in Toronto, Canada, describe a police officer as a complete idiot when sentencing him in a drugs case? There could be many reasons, but there was a specific reason. Isn't it nice when you have a judge who's quite forthright?
It was always all right if he was not making comments about you, in my experience. When a judge describes you as a complete idiot, it's not helpful to your credibility, really.
It doesn't go down well, does it?
No.
Never happened to me, fortunately. Or you, I'm sure.
No, it didn't happen to me.
Question 8. Who or what is Chanua, who was born in Chester, moved to Yorkshire, and then this week flew to Tanzania. Africa.
I thought Chanua was the hard bit, or
Chanua. Born in Chester, lived more recently in Yorkshire, and has gone to live in Africa. Tanzania.
Weirdo.
Question 9. Which world leader has been recognised as doing such a good job that in the last period they've had new varieties or new discoveries of a beetle, a giant cricket, not that giant, I hope, a large cricket, an ant, and a lichen named after them?
You know, when you spend time writing the question, getting the words right, and then someone else reads it.
Reads it differently. That's because it isn't how I would say it. Perhaps you should have read it as you'd written.
Different words in. Wait, let people answer.
Well, it's a long question, isn't it? Anyway, somebody, the article I read talked about the cricket, but
a giant cricket. It's described as a giant cricket.
That would worry me, a giant cricket.
Well, it's a matter of proportion, I'd have thought.
Remember the film where there were giant ants?
No,
that's worrying.
That wouldn't have been a film I watched.
Before your time. And question 10, which high street retailer, you wrote this one as well.
Yeah.
You can say
which high street retailer has just announced the departure of their finance boss, Peter Foot, to be replaced by Terry Boot? I think we may get some requests for some repeats on that round. So do come back to us if you'd like us to repeat any of them.
But my phone's died, so don't do it on my phone.
It hasn't died.
No, it hasn't died yet.
It's because you're doing too much rugby banter. That's the problem. So any repeats would you like, either on the YouTube chat or on WhatsApp or message or any other which way you'd like to contact us? They appear content.
Well, Cheryl normally chips in with something. I mean, it's normally really
Near the beginning.
near the beginning.
Cheryl, do you want more repeated?
No, she's probably gone.
Got more?
Probably gone for a drink.
Go to the pub. Okay, so we'll move to the answers. So Joseph Dean has been signed a contract to play Fortnite. No idea what Fortnite's about. Is it a war shoot 'em up nasty?
Shoot 'em up, build 'em game, I think.
You build them before you shoot them?
Probably not appropriate for an 8-year-old, but there's big money in Fortnite, apparently.
So that's the first one is Fortnite. Number 2 is the very lovely Jean. Is that how you pronounce it? Reg John?
Reg Jean Page.
Very nice bottom, I thought.
I don't expect he'll be sitting on it
I
tomorrow.
imagine he will be. The theme park was Legoland in Windsor. I'm not sure Legoland's probably one word, actually, isn't it?
It is one word. Yeah.
You didn't mention that at the time, did
Well,
you?
it's not for me to say, is it? Heaven forbid.
Oh, Lisa, you want number 7 again? I can give you number 7 quickly. This was, why did a judge in Toronto, Canada, describe a police officer as a complete idiot when sentencing him in a drugs case?
That was jolly hard, Cheryl says.
Oh, sorry. Right, so we'll move back to where we were with the answer. We're missing an accent with Roger. Apparently he has an accent after G.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry. So we did Legoland Windsor. President Biden has plans to visit this year England for the G7, Italy for the G20, and Scotland for COP26. Someone just wanted another look at him.
Oh.
Because he is rather lovely.
Lots of pictures of him on the internet.
Yes.
Diana was gazing at them earlier.
I was trying to find one with his bottom, but anyway, so the 3 points for England, Scotland, and Italy. So number 5, European island.
Is Sicily. Mount Etna has been erupting recently. Been in the papers several times. I've seen lovely pictures.
12 eruptions.
Not lovely if you live there, obviously. But,
no.
Ash in the streets, apparently, was the article I read yesterday or today. Black ash covering the town in Sicily. But in a similar vein, question 6 is Iceland has been having literally hundreds of earthquakes a day. And they're a bit worried that that's a foreteller of a major eruption. So probably just when planes are aligned to fly again, there'll be a huge ash
cloud from Iceland, yeah.
And that'll be the end of that for a bit longer. Question 7, which was just a sort of light-hearted silliness. The police officer, when at a drugs search, picked up and ate a cannabis-laced chocolate bar.
Thinking it was a bar of chocolate.
Well, he's probably just hungry. And in so doing, destroyed evidence and made himself a bit of an idiot. And so the judge described him as such.
Complete idiot.
A complete idiot.
Next.
So anything similar to he ate some cannabis.
Evidence.
Evidence. You can have a point. Not something I ever did, but there you go. Chenua is a black rhino born at Chester Zoo, then moved to
Flamingo Park in Yorkshire.
Flamingo Land or
Land Park.
in Yorkshire, that famous Yorkshire tourist spot. But as part of, it's actually the second
black rhino
to be sent, I say back to Africa. He didn't come from Africa, but to be sent to Africa. There you go. Question 9. Which world leader is Jacinda Ardern?
Jacinda, isn't it?
Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand has had the honour of having various things named after her. And obviously, question 10, it's Shoe Zone, that shoe retailer that is no longer employing Peter Foot, but has replaced him by Terry Boot.
Which is nice. Oh.
So scores for those.
Would be lovely.
And then we might even put the scores up.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that small thing.
Although there's a big scoring round at the end, isn't there?
There are 2 big scoring rounds.
That could change everything. Yeah.
No, only 1 moderate and 1 big scoring round.
Yeah.
So, can we have the scores, please, for the current affairs one? Please. Did you not get any scores?
Yeah, well, they're all just too difficult.
6 for Are You Drinking My Wine?
See, that's good.
Well done.
5 for Celsi Solo. Well done, Cheryl.
Oh, so that's 7 for Cavalry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we've got, yes.
Yes.
So we've got Broom Hall was 6.
7 for the Cavalry.
7 for the Cavalry.
They sort of popped in above Cheryl.
Gingerbreads.
No, that was when she asked for questions.
Yeah, so gingerbreads and the one and only. Dinging all over
Liz
the place.
has got 6.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Comes up 3 times because it comes in a message rather than. So waiting for a gingerbread score, please, Lisa. And a score for the one and only from Isabel. So if you can let me have those, we'll move on to the next round. So the next round is our final round, and then we'll just mark the dingbats. So with this one, this is because it's Mothering Sunday tomorrow. So we're going to be doing Name the Marys, because my mum's a Mary.
We have done some Marys before when we did Mary and Joseph.
Mary and Joseph. We didn't do pictures though.
Did we?
No.
Oh.
So who is this famous Mary? It was really lovely to look at all these pictures of me mum.
Isabel, very hard 5.
Well done, Isabel. So just waiting for Lisa.
So what's the highest score in that round?
7.
They're looking really good.
The cavalry are doing all right. Okay, so that's number 1. It's a fairly easy one to start, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
Number 2.
That was obviously
Polly's graduation.
Yeah. I don't remember that. Her putting the hat on. I don't remember that at all. In fact, it looks like it's been drawn on or pixelated.
No, she wore that hat.
Did she?
Yeah.
Looks like she's wearing the tree as well.
Polly's graduation. Slightly more tricky, that one.
Not
Depends
really.
what you know, really, doesn't it? Depends how your mind works.
Isabel 5, Lisa 6.
Oh, well done. I was waiting for that one.
Are you going to put the scores up?
Yeah, I'm going to do them after this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, number 3. This was last year on her birthday in, what was it called? Rigatone. What's it called? That's Italian.
Oh, yes. Romazinos.
That's the one.
Yeah, picture of Nantwich in the background.
A glass bigger than a head.
Yeah. You can get your dad into it.
Mm. Okay, and the next one. It's my mum and my dad.
Where are they?
Abroad somewhere. Can't remember where. Mum would be able to tell
Not
me.
the Isle of Wight.
No, don't think so.
Mm.
I think it's foreign. A long while ago, though.
Mm. It's in red hair.
Mm. This one, number 5, that was on her golden wedding anniversary. In that pub in Glastonbury. We took Dad out as well, remember?
No, I don't.
You were there.
I'll believe you. She looks happy anyway.
She was. We were laughing at Dad. Dad was doing something stupid. Can't remember what.
Mm.
Okay, number 6. It's in the short hair days.
That's not your mum's ear.
No, but that's me mum with very short hair.
Yeah.
And where the kids were, because that's Samuel's ear and Caroline. So he's shorter than Caroline there. So that's Samuel. So that's some while ago.
Mm.
But another glass of wine in hand. Number 7. This was Mum's 70th. We had the tent in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one's quite tricky.
Is that picture from an advert for cream?
I don't know. No, don't think it could be. Don't know. It's just a picture. Number 8. That's a nice picture of me mum, isn't it? Been to places what we haven't been.
Mm.
Number 9.
Mm.
This was when she was doing her USPG
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm. Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday, yeah, absolutely. What are you giggling at?
Just looking at the next one.
Okay. And finally, this one. That was before she broke her arm.
Was it the same visit?
Yeah,
it
same
was,
visit,
wasn't it?
yeah. She pulled. So would anybody like any of those repeated? We're happy to skedaddle back over them if you'd like another glimpse at one or other of them. Five and seven, please. So number 5 is that one.
5 and 7.
Yeah.
Seven for Emily as well.
Yeah, I think number 7 is more easy, more difficult actually. This is number 7.
3 and 7.
Number 3. Okay, so you got that's number 7 for you, Cheryl. And then a whip back to number 3. It's just very literal.
Yes. It's very literal.
Nothing clever, just literal. Okay.
Right, we need to
We'll
crack
press
on.
otherwise we'll.
Be running late.
Number 1 was obviously Mary Berry. Dame Mary Berry. Number 2 was Mary Shelley. Obviously the great writer of Frankenstein. Number 3 was the lovely Mary Poppins. Number 4 was Mary Robinson.
No, Isabel wanted 1 and 2.
Oh, Isabel, sorry. Too slow.
Bit late. Sorry, Isabel.
Number 5 was Mary Wollstonecraft.
That famous.
English writer, philosopher, and advocate of women's rights.
Yeah, very famous, obviously.
Well, it's Wollstonecraft.
Yeah, I've got it.
Number 6 was Mary Pierce, the French tennis player.
Mary Earlobe.
Won 4 Grand Slams. Number 7 was Mary Hopkins.
Stand on one leg skin.
Hopkins. It's difficult to get the motion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopkins. Number 8 was Mary Tyler Moore. That's a hairdo, isn't it, from the 80s, do you think?
Mm.
An actor, she's been Thoroughly Modern Millie, most acclaimed for.
Oh, she was, yeah.
Number 9, Mary Quant. Dame Mary Quant, no less. English fashion designer, an icon and famous for the mini skirts and hot pants, particularly. Makes you smile, doesn't it?
Makes me smile, yeah.
And 10 is Mary, Queen of Scots. So that's who we're after. Oh.
Can you put the score
Yes,
thing up?
yeah, I was going to wait for the scores to come in though.
No, I can see it grow.
Okay.
If you can get it up there.
is 7. Yeah, I was just going to look for
9 for cavalry.
Right, so we've got 7 for
No, 9 for cavalry. That's all I've got.
yeah, but Liz for 7, I believe.
Broom Hall 9. And which one they didn't get? Lisa.
Celsi Solo 9.
Gingerbread's 9.
See, they were easy then, obviously. The one and only. Right, so let me see if I
The
can.
one and only hasn't come in yet.
Not there, so. Bum, ba-dum, bum. That's interesting. Can I get the score up? Yeah, of course I can get the score up. It's tricky, this. Tricky. Hey, there we go.
So
That's the score. So I don't know if you can see that.
So cavalry looking good, 4 points ahead of Are You Drinking My Wine? And then a couple of points ahead of Gingerbreads, and nothing in it really between Gingerbreads, Broom Halls, and Celsi Solo.
And Isabel was still waiting for a score
And
from
Isabel
Isabel.
still needs to score, so it's all looking pretty good. Obviously, the bonus round has got a lot of points. Isabel's score's just come in, but you've covered it up. 5.
Thank you, Isabel.
So all to play for on the dingbats, really.
5. So let's go through the dingbats, which I can show you those ones. Show you the answers now. Maybe. Oh, I don't like having these 2 screens. It's much more complicated. Okay, so the first one is 3 men in a boat.
Foreign language.
4 in language.
That's not whatever. Yeah, right between the eyes.
Number
yeah.
3, right between the eyes. Didn't get
Why
number
is
4.
that criminal? I mean, when I look at it, it's criminal. But I was looking for something to do with the in has gone from criminal.
Yeah,
And the A's been moved. So why is that criminal?
I can't
I
remember.
don't actually understand that one.
The next one, number 5, is a fork in the road.
That's obvious.
Number 6,
Is potatoes.
it's got pot, 8 O's.
8 O's. That makes sense. As does within reason for number 7.
Number 8,
Is the missing link because the L, the I, the N, and the K are missing. So that makes sense. Postman. Yes, that makes sense. Postman.
Number 10,
No 2 ways about it. No, and
2 ways.
2 ways
About it.
That makes perfect sense. Son of a gun.
Well, a Bren is the type of
Bren
gun. Junior.
Junior, son of a gun.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Made in Great Britain makes sense. Another time, another place.
Well, time written a different sort of time and a different sort of place.
Another time, another place.
Yeah.
Okay. Honour Among Thieves, I like. The OBE, Hidden in Robbers. That's for number 14. Mother-in-Law, which we alluded to earlier, not knowingly, because Mom is in police. Mother-in-Law. Good looking. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's a small world after all. That famous Disney song. Yeah, it's a small world.
No, you don't have to do that bit.
Excuse
me.
Excuse me.
So
Makes
all
sense.
apart from another 4, we were vaguely happy with that. They sort of made sense.
Criminal.
So we've got a score of 15 in from Are You Drinking? So where are the other scores?
So
Other scores needed.
If you can.
I think it's the mouse I hate.
It's a certain way of looking at those things, isn't it?
You've got to have your mind in the right way.
Hours go. But it's looking good. In the lead, only because they've put a score in, is Are You Drinking My Wine?
So we need scores in for the dingbats, please.
Broom Cavalry 12. Oh, it might be enough.
So
Broom Hall
Lisa
14.
6. The gingerbreads. So what we got?
Cavalry 12.
Yeah.
Broom Hall's 14. Oh,
Close.
very close.
Celsi Solo 9. Well done. And the one and only Isabel. Did you get the hang of those? It was quite tricky if you've never played those before.
Yeah. But anyway, I think even if Isabel gets every one of those right, she's not going to catch up. The winners of the 10th quiz, the 10th Market Street Mother's Day themed, possibly, yeah, who knows, are the Cavalry.
The Cavalry being called first place with 57.
So Matt and Emily, well done for getting some extra people to play. John and Kay, you obviously made the difference. Hope you've enjoyed it.
I never think it's a good thing that people get our sense of
Nonsense.
Oh, nonsense, yeah.
But yes, thank you for joining us. We're going to leave the room any minute. There were no photos this week.
No photos this week. So I have put them in order now. So the Cavalry being called got 57, followed by You Drinking My Wine with 56. Broom Hall Duo.
Very good.
Well done. Third place. That has got to be your highest placing. Celsi Solo really well. 46.
She really
on
is
your own. That's really good.
As is
Gingerbreads 45. Not bad, but there are 4 of you.
Yeah, but they did.
They are young, and you did have IT problems, but you know.
Yeah.
And Isabel, well done again on your own, and we haven't got your dingbat score, and so it's probably another at least 15
another
more.
10 on there, at least.
At least another
15.
10. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody. That's 10 done, so I don't know whether we need to do any more or whether we're done. We'll have to see how it goes.
Anyway, there's church tomorrow, and Dinah's hopefully doing that.
If it goes as smoothly tomorrow as it's gone tonight, it'll be fine.
Thank you, Jane, for the package for Diana.
Thank you. And we're off. So good night.